Welcome back to my part of the world, here at the foot of Hungry Hill on the Beara Peninsula. It was a warm year, and here in June, growth was very good, very strong. And the only thing was that you had to keep the water coming, and there wasn't a running water supply on the plant, so I had to carry it all in. It was hot weather here in July, and I had to resort to multi-purposing the water. And now, the day of reckoning, or at least the day of first reckoning, towards the end of June, as I dig out some of my earlier potatoes. Now, to be honest, I'd been pinching a few from well-developed plants at least a month earlier, so I was actually eating my first potatoes from this plot in May. You don't get the greatest of yields from the early potatoes, but my goodness, you do get taste. Oh, and look here, my son would be very proud of me. I'm actually switching off the GoPro. My Father's Day lunch with my son and my daughter-in-law. We're going to have some scrumptious potatoes. But now for something completely different. Down the wormhole. Two intrepid travellers have made their way here in search of the idol, the Sheela. What do you think?
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we take the moss off to have a proper look?
And here she is, the original of the species. Autumn is almost upon us, and soon I shall be taking out the main crop potatoes. The garlic has been harvested. I usually do that at the end of July, the beginning of August. A lot of the main crop potatoes are still growing. You can see blossom there on one particular plant, which I'll talk about later. And you can see beans and salads, lettuce growing there, and there were onions, and of course, the nasturtiums. And yum yum for dessert. And now to digging out the main crop, switching on the GoPro automatically. The yield from this ridge is just astonishing. I've had so many different types of vegetables already, and of course I've had the very first earlies and the second earlies, and perhaps you could describe them as the third earlies. But this is the main crop, and they're mostly Roosters, which, you know, are an Irish potato, are developed in Ireland and so on and so forth, and they yield fantastically. I really have much too many potatoes for my own use. But I will pick them, of course, and I'll store them in crates and distribute them amongst friends and family. I've left this plant. It's a single, very large plant, and it's very unusual, and I will cover that in an end-of-year video together with my composting methods and a few other details about yields generally, not just my yields, but other yields and some historic stuff that I did in terms of large-scale potato growing. Somebody asked me, what's the point, Jim, in what you're doing here with these videos? Well, my point is that I want to grow smart by reviving interest in how our ancestors grew great food simply and at very little cost to the environment.